Alright, so Valkyr, let's have a chit-chat. I get the big elephant in the room right away. Invulnerability to health tanking is a nerf. Is it a bad nerf? No, because invulnerability means you can never have a difficulty in the game if someone can just be invulnerable. And that applies across, everyone. Any warframe, shield gating, etc. Vazarin hopscotch, as I like to call it. That was the old way you used to do level caps. I know there's at least one guy has a level cap run with the Neros recorded. I've done it, but I didn't record. I wasn't recording things at that time. So yeah, Valkyr, I actually kind of had a health tank build on her to start with because I didn't like the energy drain on Hysteria. I never really got around to fixing that at any point later on. And she was one of the ones I built for prepping for Deviri because I picked up Octavia and Korra as the frames I didn't want to ever have to play. So maybe I was a little ahead here. Now, let's talk about the rework. Ripline, can't really tell you. Ripline's the one that changes the most, and honestly, I could not tell you without actually experimenting with that in terms of how it feels, how it moves, how the energy economy flows, the targeting, the gathering radius, whether it's going to open enemies to ground finishers, all that sort of fun stuff. It looks cool. No frame of reference at all to try it. Warcry didn't really change. They took the slow off it, but 90% of us weren't using the slow on Warcry in any meaningful way anyways. It was just something that happened if the enemies happened to be around when you cast it. Being able to recast it, not sure what the point is, but I guess if you miss a growing power snapshot in my case, or you're trying to get a relic snapshot, or Nidus is linked to even all those sort of team strats, maybe that's got a little more use so that you're not locked in if you don't get the thing done properly the first try. Obviously, Eternal War bases on the you're never going to cast it again situation for the augment. Paralysis. So paralysis right now opens enemies to finishers because it stuns them. And that's very good for my arcane ultimatum that you might see trigger in the background footage there occasionally for a nice solid extra 1200 armor for 45 seconds. Or for melee crescendo, which is on at least one of my weapons in the background, depending which part of my build this is showing at the point, my test runs. So yeah, I'm kind of worried about that, not having those easy finishers. You can still equip the augment and get ground finishers, and it sounds like they made that less janky, because right now it pulls the enemies at you, but they come in really slow, and once you do a finisher on like the first 2 or 3, you can't then go do the second set if they're still floating at you. It's weird and difficult to explain without showing you. I didn't feel like especially recording it in a clip. That'll be something for like a build video where I'm talking about it and showing the actual ability in the simulacrum. So moving on to the elephant in the room, Hysteria. I guess we should talk about her passive. She's going to build up rage. It's kind of like Garuda's, except not more than just on kills. Particularly it benefits from finishers, which goes back to what I just said about paralysis. Whether that's going to open up to finishers or not, because that will give you a very easy way to rapidly refill it. And then the passive will stop you from dying by consuming undefined amount of the passive. They're currently saying 75% on the dev workshop. That's replacing the invulnerability. The other half of replacing the invulnerability is that she's just going to triple her armor bonus from Warcry, which on my thing that you're seeing in the background here will mean I have about 8,000 final armor or something silly like that. Just tickle in my throat. So yeah, it's a nerf. Is it a nerf that will actually affect anything but level cap? And even then, level cap people can still do the shield gates and the Vazarin hopscotching, and as I like to call it, and all that other crap. Yeah, they can still do that. Will it affect those of us in the regular game? I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's behind you, but that was both Elite Archimedes, and this is a decent chunk into the highest level Steel Path survival mission. So, no. I will say that there are one-shots in the game. They're either a very rare critical effect, or they are outright bugs. The only thing I know in the game that can actually one-shot this is standing in a Jade Light being too long. Anyways, that's a quick rant on the Valkyr rework. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one.